Okay, so it is 1st January 2026. Didn't do much for the New Year's. I stayed in and I watched the season finale of Stranger Things. I think when I mentioned in the last video that I want to approach these vlogs with like a direction, I still don't know how I intend to do that, but I guess I can do it based on topics. So for this one, I guess the one thing that's been on my mind a lot is how to remove friction. And when you remove friction, you kind of make things easier for you because you have like one less step to do. And then the way I see it, like you're trying to remove friction in whatever you can, so you end up actually doing it rather than being put off by it because there's like one extra step. I've been trying to make it as easy as possible for me to go do my sports, my activities. But then another thing is like these vlogs, because I would always be put off by it just out of the sheer fact that, oh, I have to set up this camera, the mic and whatnot, right? I figured if I remove as much friction as possible, I might actually enjoy the process. So when I'm at home, I'm currently recording on this A6700. I'm thinking that when I go out, I will be using, it's the Sony ZV-E10. One thing I did to remove friction from this is that I would always get annoyed by having to take off the camera lens, so I opted to just using a lens filter that I can just change out in case it breaks. That way I can just like pull this out, turn it on, and then it's like ready to go. And then like I mentioned in the previous vlog, when it comes to like my activities, I'll be using the GoPro just because it's a lot more discreet, a lot more easy to use. I will have to sacrifice audio when it comes to that. I think it's fine. Like, I'm delivering the quality as best as I can. I think the point is I'm still sticking by how it would be to vlog as like a normal person that has no prior experience in vlogging. I guess of course the more I do it, the better I'll get, but this is how it looks like starting off, I guess. It's 1st of January, start of the year. I'm still trying to like recalibrate my training. I will be going for jiu-jitsu later. I have movements and gi classes today. And then I'm in the midst of trying to rework my gym routine so that it complements jiu-jitsu, because I am training with the intent to compete sometime this year. So at least I have that goal set. And right now, I am just trying to remove as much friction as possible to get to that goal, all the while enjoying the process. So yeah.
So typically I'd record these with my GoPro because it just feels a lot more sturdy on like a windshield mount. But I'm trying out the Sony ZV-E10 on this mount and I'm kind of scared because it's a little wobbly. But yeah, I'm heading to Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu tonight. 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. class. I'm gonna try to record some footage of Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. I might try. I've not tried to roll yet. I've not tried to spar yet. So I want to try to get that done. I feel like that would be a more appropriate thing to film aside from the classes. So we'll see. This is dark as hell, but I did my first ever open mat, gi open mat, and it was very humbling. There are moments where I feel like I couldn't breathe. I didn't know what to do in terms of being on the offense, so I just told them, do whatever you want. and my objective is to survive. Even like that alone, I mean, all in all, I enjoyed it. I'm looking forward to more open mats. But yeah, so I think 1st January, I think that's a good start to properly doing jiu-jitsu. And I think like I've set myself a good baseline that I can come back to. I can look back on, right? We'll check in on the next class, which might be tomorrow. There's lapel classes tomorrow, so we'll see. Filming this on the floor because I'm drenched in sweat and I don't want to like sit on my sofa. But yeah, I think just wanted to talk about like the main topic of today being removing friction, right? And I think the one thing that deterred me in like the later 2025, so I signed up for BJJ in, I think it was October, but then I barely went because I got too lazy, or just like less life got in the way. I was figuring out ways on how I could just motivate myself to go. And honestly, like, it started with leaving my gear bag in my car. I had 5 rash guards and 2 shorts, just so I always had clothes at the ready, and like I could always wash it once those are used. I have my 1 set of gi, again ready to go, and it's just always in my car, so I have no reason not to go. I guess the one thing that got in the way when I did that was when you go for gi classes, even no gi classes, right, you get all sweaty, and then your gi, like even in gi classes your gi gets all sweaty. How do you deal with the dirty laundry? The easiest way to circumvent that was I just put like an IKEA tote bag in my gear bag, so I have a bag for dirty clothes like at the ready. And then like my classes are at night anyway, so I can just like wash it right after I get home, and it's made it a lot more like motivating for me to go. I guess the same can apply for like any other sport as well. Like when I go for gym, I have my gear bag in the car, and then inside the gear bag I'll have smaller gear bags for me to just have stuff at the ready in case, like based on the workouts I'm doing for the day. It makes it a lot easier, like again like minimizing that friction, so you actually end up doing what you want to do. That's it at the top of my mind at the moment. If anything comes to mind again, I'll check in lah. So I just got out of the shower. I didn't realize the rear naked chokes in class today. And then it got to a point where it was like doing it at the jaw, doing it at the nose level, doing it at the eye level. It was fine. It was like I could handle it. I tapped out when I had to, but I didn't realize how bad it was. You know, marking on my face. Like, I feel fine though, so it doesn't hurt. I guess it's just kind of ironic because the theme of this vlog is removing friction, but I'm sure this was caused by friction of the gi. So I just thought it was kind of funny. I had my second day of rolling. I finally did the lapel classes, which I enjoyed a lot. I just realized a jarring issue. I think the past 2 weeks have been quite easy for me in a sense that because it was like year end, so it was very chill. Work was like super chill. But then work will start to pick up next week onwards, and that I believe will introduce a whole new balancing act that will force me to further remove friction in a sense. So I won't know what's to come, but I guess the balancing act will only come once the work starts, and I guess I'll just have to see how I manage that. At the end of the day, it's all time management anyway. Removing the friction just makes it more convenient for you to actually want to attend to stuff that you want to go to. There's only the 2nd January anyway, so it's gonna be easy like the first few days. It will only get harder, but I guess that's the challenge at hand lah. The whole point of these vlogs is to provide like a realistic insight on how to manage yourself
and your hobbies. So you get to follow along.
From Monarch MMA. Please stand by at mat 3 now.
It is February 1st, and I have to acknowledge the fact that I did not film anything since January 2nd. So that's like a whole month of not really filming any talking heads. But I did film a lot of training clips. So I kind of have to address the irony that the fact that this vlog is about removing friction, but training so much has introduced friction to my vlogging, because I've been training jiu-jitsu for like at least 10 hours a week, 1 to 2 hours of class, followed by an hour of overmat. Not good yet. They say that your first 6 months will be the most humbling 6 months. But if you were to frame it in another way, I've removed so much friction that I've gone to training at least 5 times a week. So the problem with me in hobbies is I never stick to a single hobby for too long. But the thing with jiu-jitsu has been the fact that I found that makes me keep coming back. So I trained at Average Jiu-Jitsu, and now I'm frequent Blueprint. But the coaches and the students just make me keep coming for training. And I think that's like body sores and just injuries aside, I feel fantastic. I feel this is the most active I've been in a very long time. It's just so nice to finally get moving again. Like, all things considered, January has been a pretty good month in regards to getting my training in. I'm still training towards competitions this year. 4 more months to train for my first comp, and I think that's plenty of time. I got really good coaches to work with too, and really good teammates as well. I think I gotta wrap up the vlog here because it is already February, and I at least want to get one video out a month. So I'm kind of already overdue on this one. But to conclude, when you are able to firmly remove as much friction as possible, you really just want to keep doing things. But then you have to start. You will have to start to figure out what needs to be done, to motivate yourself to keep going. I think the key thing right now is just, if you feel like you have no motivation, you just gotta go. It may not be the best session of the week or whatever, but the fact that you went is already something to feel good about. And then the more you keep going, you end up making new friends, you end up figuring out how this activity fits within your lifestyle, and you figure out what lifestyle changes to make. And the more you do, the better you get good at it, and it just becomes like second nature. It only took me a month to get to that point with jiu-jitsu, and I'm really happy about that. Right now, for once, I found a sport that I really enjoy doing and I look forward to going for. But in regards to the vlogs, I don't know if I'll keep the same format where I'm discussing and expanding upon a particular topic of the video, or if it just becomes vlogs, because at this point I'm just experimenting with different formats and seeing what sticks, what makes it easier for me, and that's my means of removing friction, in a sense, for content creation. We'll see where it goes from here. Happy February. It's already been a month, and January went by really fast. So we'll see how the rest of the year treats us.